Josh Duggar's fall from grace, 12 years behind bars and $3.1 million fine, leaves Anna devastated. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. For Duggar family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. The courtroom was hushed. The heavy oak doors swung open and Josh Davenport entered, wearing a dark suit, his hands clasped in front of him. Beside him sat his attorneys, faces drawn. The spectators, some curious, others sympathetic, many hostile, shifted and murmured softly. Among them, in the front row, was Anna Davenport. She sat with shoulders rigid, her face composed though her heart felt as if it were being torn apart. From the beginning, Anna had stood by Josh, or at least she had believed in him. They had built a life together, raised children, and weathered storms. But now, as the verdict was about to be read, everything hung in the balance. The charges and the trial, the case against Josh had been shocking and deeply disturbing. Prosecutors accused him of receiving and possessing child pornography, acts especially heinous in the eyes of society, and ones that could carry decades behind bars. Months of investigation had culminated in the seizure of electronic devices, forensic analyses, testimony from law enforcement and computer experts, survivors' advocates, and damaging digital evidence. The trial stretched over days. Witnesses recounted how some of the material discovered on Josh's hard drives ranked among the worst the forensic analysts had ever seen. Defense attorneys attempted to cast doubt, suggesting hacking, alternate users, or contamination. But the weight of evidence proved formidable for Anna. Those weeks in court were harrowing. She sat in the gallery day after day, trying to be strong for their children who were barred from court. She'd glance at Josh, hoping to see a sign, denial, fear, remorse, but often saw only a distant, hollow gaze. On the day the jury delivered their verdict, a hush fell across the courtroom. Anna sat upright, eyes forward, as the foreman stood. On the first count, knowing receipt of illicit material, we find the defendant guilty. On the second count, knowing possession, we find the defendant guilty. The words struck Anna like blows. She felt the air rush out of her lungs. Josh's shoulders sagged. He was immediately led away in handcuffs. Before he walked out, he turned and, through a mask, locked eyes with Anna for a moment. Tears threatened to spill from her. He mouthed the words, "I love you." Then he was gone. Outside the courthouse, many family members made statements. His parents issued a written message. They were heartbroken, would continue praying, and pledged support for Anna and the children. Cousins and siblings took different stances. Some voiced support, others offered condemnation. The sentencing. After a prolonged pre-sentencing investigation, the day came for sentencing. The judge, in a stern, measured voice, declared Josh should serve 12 years behind bars. In addition, she ordered a multi-million-dollar fine, in this fictional retelling, $3.1 million, and long-term supervised release afterward. Josh's legal team plainly intended to appeal, but for now the sentence stood firm. The courtroom brimmed with tension as victims' advocates, relatives, and the press listened in. Anna's face was blank. Inside, every nerve felt raw. The judge warned that during his supervised release, his access to the internet would be limited, contact with minors strictly regulated, and no unsupervised contact even with his own family. Anna's heart sank. 12 years. A lifetime. Even with appeals, the likelihood he might serve a significant portion loomed. Anna's turmoil. After the verdict and sentence, Anna retreated into a shell. She maintained her composure publicly, controlled, tight-lipped, but inside, grief, betrayal, fear, confusion, and a crushing loneliness warred. How could the man she loved commit such acts? And what did it mean for her children's future? She wrestled with doubt. In quiet nights, she pondered whether she had misread signs, ignored red flags, or denied warnings. She remembered times when Josh had been secretive or defensive, and how she'd chalked them up to stress, work burdens, or spiritual struggle. Now, she questioned them all. Anna also felt immense pressure from the world. The media, friends, extended family, critics. Some urged her to divorce him. Others implored her to stay loyal. Some offered sympathy, Others reviled her for defending Josh. She faced whispers at church, social media attacks, and casual judgment in daily life. Her children needed her to be their anchor, but at nights, after they slept, she wept. Sometimes, she screamed in her pillow. She researched the legal process, appeals, and even forensic science, hoping for any way to help Josh. But she also quietly scheduled counseling sessions for herself and for her children. In the months after sentencing, Anna took on the role of both father and mother. She handled finances, homeschooling, emotional crises, and public scrutiny. She stepped up for school events, birthdays, and bedtime prayers alone. She learned to mask exhaustion, fear, and heartbreak from their eyes. Family fractures. Josh's conviction ripped the family apart. Some siblings drifted from Anna, others rallied. Some relatives stayed silent. Others made public statements denouncing Josh's actions. The family's public image, once rooted in piety and unity, crumbled. Faith, loyalty, truth, and reputation tangled into a messy knot. At times, Anna felt abandoned. She expected radicals who once applauded moral integrity to turn their back on her now. She once believed that faith would carry her family through. But loneliness and fear whispered lies. She struggled to reconcile the man she loved with the crimes of which he was convicted. How much blame lay with Josh alone? How much with enabling structures around him? The questions haunted her. One prime moment came when Josh's cousin, Amy, published a memoir claiming the family had long ignored or covered up abuse. She accused the family of protecting reputation over victims and publicly distanced herself from Josh. That cast a harsh spotlight on the entire clan and forced Anna to reckon with family loyalty versus moral accountability. At times, Anna felt guilt. Guilt for raising children with a man who had betrayed trust. Guilt if she stayed. Guilt if she left. She grappled with whether to hold on to the marriage or protect the children and herself. Many nights, she'd stare at the ceiling, imagining different futures, moments of reckoning. Halfway through Josh's sentence, Anna visited him in prison. The facility was bleak, consultations curt, visiting rooms hostile. She sat behind glass and talked through a phone. She looked at him. He looked smaller, older, haunted. For a moment, she thought she saw the man she married. But reality was different now. They spoke of children, letters, hope, remorse. Josh apologized, asked for forgiveness, and promised change. Anna listened. She admitted she found it hard to trust, even as she wanted to believe. The distance between them, emotional, moral, physical, felt vast. After the visit, Anna returned home to 7 children, aged from toddler to teenager. She held them tight. She told them she loved them. She prayed for strength, guidance, and healing. One evening, her teenage daughter asked, "Mom, is Dad coming home?" Anna forced a smile, swallowed her tears, and said softly, "Yes, if the Lord wills." Later she wept. In the months that followed, Anna occasionally spoke to the press. Quiet, measured. She insisted her priority remained her children's welfare. She struggled publicly under scrutiny, but she also found inner resolve to live for them. Transformation and legacy. Years passed. Josh's appeals failed one by one. The Supreme Court declined to hear his case. His projected release date slipped further. Anna picked up the pieces of their shattered life and built something new, not out of denial, but out of love for her children, faith, and the pursuit of dignity. She reached out to victim advocacy groups. She began supporting survivors, speaking on the importance of child protection. She shared her story about love, betrayal, and the long path toward healing. She never fully vindicated Josh, but she refused to let their tragedy define her children. The family's public name lost much of its luster, but Anna quietly continued working. She organized support networks, counseling resources, and educational funds for children traumatized by abuse. In that, she found purpose. Her identity gradually became more than wife of the convict. She became a mother advocating for broken families. Josh finished the first years of his sentence with most of the sentence ahead. Anna visited when permitted, wrote letters, and attempted to maintain connection for the children. But the psychological distance remained. In her quiet moments, Anna sometimes walked to the graves of past illusions and bid them farewell. She found peace gradually through faith, therapy, and community. The past could not be undone, nor the crimes excused, but healing remained possible. As the calendar pages turned, Anna's children grew. They asked about their father. She answered with honesty, age-appropriate, truthful, loving. She taught them compassion for victims, accountability for wrongdoing, and hope for restoring trust when possible. One day, decades later, when Josh's term wound down, Anna would face a final decision, whether to welcome him back, maintain boundaries, or remain apart. The choice would be hers, founded on love, but anchored in truth. Fictional reflection. In the quiet of a late afternoon, Anna sat on the porch rocking chair. The children's laughter echoed faintly in the yard. She held a letter from Josh, brief, contrite, hopeful. She folded it gently. She glanced upward. Sunlight filtered through oak leaves. A breeze stirred. She traced memories through her mind. Weddings, family gatherings, church nights, quiet nights when all seemed right. She also recalled the day the verdict was read, a moment forever etched in her soul. Tears rolled down her cheeks, not of grief alone, but of release, of recognition that life must continue. She whispered a prayer, for justice, for healing, for restoration if possible, but if not, for peace. Jessa Duggar and Ben Sewell got divorced today. It was a quiet Sunday morning in Springdale, Arkansas, or at least it should have been. Birds chirped gently, the town's church bells rang like clockwork, and families prepared for worship. But inside the massive, brick-walled Duggar family estate, the calm had shattered like glass. Jessa Duggar Sewell, once the smiling, polished face of family values and purity culture, stood frozen by the window, clutching a manila envelope. Her husband, Ben Sewell, wasn't home. He hadn't been home for 2 nights, and now, the truth was unraveling in front of her eyes. Inside the envelope were photographs, emails, bank statements, evidence. Ben hadn't just been hiding something, he'd been hiding everything. The perfect life, or so it seemed from the outside. Jessa and Ben had the perfect life. They were the golden couple of the Duggar extended family, deeply religious, always smiling, and raising their 4 children in a God-fearing home. Their YouTube videos had thousands of views, their sponsored content was thriving, and they often posted Bible verses in floral fonts across social media. But behind the filtered photos, their marriage had been crumbling. Ben, who once seemed shy and soft-spoken, had grown distant. He stayed late at the gym. He took work calls in the garage. And lately, he had developed a strange interest in law enforcement, volunteering for community patrol programs and attending police workshops, even though he wasn't qualified. Jessa had her suspicions, but she'd always been taught to submit to her husband and never question the man of the house. Until one day, a woman named Anita messaged her on Instagram. Anita and the unraveling. Anita wasn't the type to stay silent. She was bold, beautiful, and had nothing to lose. "I think you deserve to know the truth," the message read. At first, Jessa thought it was spam or a jealous fan, but Anita wasn't bluffing. She had pictures of Ben, from late nights at hotels in Fayetteville, receipts from luxury boutiques in Dallas, even a short video where Ben kissed her cheek as he slid into a black pickup truck. For weeks, Jessa tried to ignore the growing signs. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe she was just overthinking, but deep down she knew, and Anita had more than secrets. She had leveraged. "I wasn't the only one," Anita later admitted, in a voice note that would go viral just weeks later. The police knocked at it was 6:13 a.m. on a Wednesday. When the police arrived, a neighbor's doorbell camera caught it all. 2 officers walked up to the house, knocked 3 times, and waited. Ben answered, wearing sweatpants and a CrossFit shirt, looking like he hadn't slept. They arrested him on the spot. The charges? Fraud, identity theft, unauthorized use of state law enforcement equipment. Ben had apparently been impersonating a community officer, using false credentials to gain access to private records. He had even created a fake badge. Why? The public would soon learn it had nothing to do with law and order. He'd been using the badge to gain trust. from women, from local businesses, from churches who didn't ask too many questions. The family divide. When the news broke, the internet exploded. All over trended on Twitter for 2 days straight. Instagram Reels dissected every second of the police footage. YouTubers uploaded 45-minute breakdowns titled "Jessa Duggar Sewell Divorce?" What really happened with Ben inside the Duggar family? Chaos erupted. Some siblings supported Jessa, quietly texting her encouragement and promising help. Others, especially the older, more conservative ones, believed she should stay and pray for her husband's redemption. But Jessa had made up her mind. She filed for divorce the next morning. The courtroom and the cameras. The courtroom was packed. Jessa wore a gray blazer and minimal makeup, her expression unreadable. Ben sat beside his lawyer, clearly nervous, his once boyish charm gone. Anita was there too, subpoenaed as a witness. The trial revealed everything. Fake IDs, hacked emails, even hush money paid to a woman in Nashville. Ben had gone far beyond infidelity. He had orchestrated a network of lies that shocked even seasoned reporters. He was sentenced to 14 months in federal prison and 5 years of probation. Jessa never looked at him once. Moving forward, after the trial, Jessa released a video titled "Starting Over, My Truth." It was raw, emotional, and honest. She spoke about shame, about being raised to believe divorce was sinful, about the pain of realizing your whole life was built on an illusion. "I thought I knew what love was," she said. "I thought I knew what loyalty meant. But sometimes, love means walking away." The video received over 4 million views in 1 week. She later launched a podcast called Unfiltered Grace, where she interviewed other women raised in high-control environments, sharing stories of breaking free. Anita became a guest on episode 4. Redemption and revenge. Ben's release from prison was quiet. He moved to Missouri, changed his name, and disappeared from the public eye. Rumors swirled that he tried to join a new church under an alias, but Reddit detectives were quick to expose him. Jessa, meanwhile, thrived. She published a book, Raised Right, Hurt Wrong, which topped Christian memoir charts. Her kids went to a progressive school in Little Rock. And she even started dating slowly, cautiously, but with a sense of freedom she'd never known. As for Anita, she became an influencer, with a fierce following of women supporting women. Her memoir, The Other Woman Who Found Herself, sold out pre-orders in 48 hours. Epilogue. The Duggar name. The Duggar family name would never be the same. What was once a symbol of tradition and purity became a reminder of how much can go wrong when appearances are valued over truth. But Jessa didn't regret any of it. "I may have lost a husband," she wrote in her book's final chapter, "but I found myself." Now that Jessa Duggar is settling in as a mom of 6, she's opening up about the ways that her body has changed postpartum. In a new YouTube vlog the former Counting On star shared on Monday, she revealed that she is struggling to bounce back after giving birth to baby Edward in July, and just like for many new moms, for her that means both losing weight and finding clothes that make her feel comfortable in her postpartum body. Edward arrived at the end of July, and since then, it seems like Jessa, her husband Ben Seawald, and their 5 older kids have found a way to their new routine, including homeschooling. "Edward is a really great, easy baby, and I'm thankful for that," she said. "He sleeps really well. Sometimes I get 4 to 5 hour stretches, and sometimes I have to wake him up. Sounds like the adjustment to a family of 8 is going smoothly." When it comes to post-pregnancy weight loss, Jessa said she still has a long ways to go. She explained that after gaining 45 pounds during her pregnancy with baby Edward, she's already jumped into using a fitness app to help move her weight loss along. "I want to say probably half of that weight's gone just from giving birth and a big baby and the placenta and all the water weight and everything from summer. But I'm like, boy, I still have a long ways to go," she said. She can't help but feel a bit